Welcome back. Americans seeing high prices everywhere we go. From the grocery store to the gas pump, inflation really hitting family wallets and budgets hard. The last time inflation was this high, in fact, nearly 40 years ago. Joining us now is Charlene Wells. She's the Senior VP of Public Relations and Organizational Communications for Mountain America Credit Union. We're going to talk through this and have some tips on how families can navigate through this. We really appreciate you being here.
Sure.
A big deal. None of us are going to the store and the gas station and not feeling this personally.
Oh, exactly. We're seeing 30% higher costs in energy costs, 4.8% higher in food costs.
Right.
It's really impacting our wallet.
Yeah, and it's not like our incomes have gone up that much
No.
in just the last few months. Okay,
Exactly.
let's get into this because there are things families can do to help navigate this time. What are some of your top tips?
Probably the first thing is set limits. You know, that's one of the hardest things, right? But you
that
kind of
probably
take a
goes
look
across the board, right? I should probably set limits a little better.
But you can do that with your family, your friends, your coworkers before you go to these parties and stuff, and you set the limits. Instead of a $20 gift, maybe it's a $10 gift, $5 gift. Maybe it's exchanging experiences or something like that. Another thing you can do is price check before you buy. You might be going down the aisle, you're all excited about something. Oh, my sister wants that. Well, take a quick look on your phone and see if it's cheaper somewhere else.
Okay.
So you can do that. The other thing you could do, monitor your spending. Look at those daily charges. Look at that statement. Make sure you have the right credit card that's giving you the right cash back and rewards. At Mountain America, we're doing triple rewards right now with travel rebates and everything. Another thing is to plan ahead on those big ticket items. You can automate your saving. Make sure you're planning those recurring transfers into something ahead of time so you don't even have to think about it anymore. And then here's the big one, avoid spree shopping. I know, it's kind of hard. But you know, the researchers have shown that when you start spending, you keep spending. There's actually a name for it. It's called shopping momentum effect. Stop. Go with a list. Go with a list. And it's like the same thing.
And that goes back to when you talk about setting your limits too, right?
Exactly. And you have to be disciplined about it. And then you don't need to worry so much about what's happening globally and everything if you stick to your plan.
You get to this point, though, and you start to panic a little bit, like, how am I going to get through this? Our price is going to come down. Is it time to panic about inflation?
No. I think if you have this plan and you stick to it and you use financial advisors, we have free financial advisors, you're going to be okay. And we anticipate, economic analysts say, it should start to fade. This is what we're seeing, what we call transitory inflation, temporary price spikes due to instability with supply and demand in the market.
So walking us off the ledge here. Calm down.
Right. Just, hang in there, stick to your plan.
Okay.
Be disciplined about all that.
A lot of this is out of our control, though, and the federal government can have an impact on this. Talk about the role they play. I heard some stuff from the Treasury Secretary today on what he might do to try to reverse this.
Exactly. The Federal Reserve does play a role in controlling inflation by influencing interest rates. So when inflation is high, they will raise interest rates in order to slow the economy, and they'll do the reverse.
And that kind of seems like it might be counterproductive.
Right.
But he is saying that that's what he's looking at doing for both credit cards and mortgages, but it can help alleviate the overall situation.
It really does. It really does in the end run, in the long game.
Talk about the pandemic and the role that it has played. Certainly, you already mentioned the fact that the supply chain issues certainly impacted by the pandemic, but more of a broad scope. How has it led to this point?
Well, we are seeing both the economic and the pandemic situation is better than it was last year. And as we head into 2022, a lot of people wonder if this trend of inflation is continuing, but economic analysts are saying that that should probably slow down. They don't think that it will continue to rise.
Okay. And as we plan ahead for the holidays and try to make it through this spike in inflation, you mentioned that you already have folks available at Mountain America Credit Union. So what are the best options? Where can we turn for help?
Well, I'm going to have to say my preferred way to go is we do have financial advisors for free available at Mountain America Credit Union. So that would be my first stop. In fact, it's always my first stop. Whenever there's a big change in my life, then I'm going to make sure my finances are in order, make sure the spreadsheet is line item, and you know exactly what you're going to spend this month, next month, and just don't go crazy, and then you're fine.
Yeah.
You know what your resources are, you know what you're going to spend, and you're okay.
Putting that plan together, putting it on paper, being able to see it can help alleviate some of that panic we're talking about.
It's huge when you put it on paper, whether it's in a spreadsheet or even just in a little table. Just writing it down forces you to focus, forces you to just kind of analyze what resources you have and stay within that budget.
Okay, certainly an uncertain time. We appreciate your insight and helping us take a deep breath
right?
as we
Just relax.
work through this. Yeah. All right, thanks so much for your time. I appreciate
Absolutely
it.
happy to, Glenn.